In the age of social media, lives that once unfolded in private are now frequently broadcast for public consumption. Couples who share their passions, careers, or personal journeys online invite followers into their world, willingly or not. Yet even the most carefully curated content cannot fully mask human complexity. When small inconsistencies appear, missed appearances, quieter moments, altered routines, audiences often interpret them as signs of deeper issues. Social media thrives on patterns, and when a familiar rhythm shifts, curiosity grows into speculation. Observers dissect every detail, searching for meaning in silences and subtle gestures. The digital audience becomes both witness and participant in a narrative that may be only partially revealed. Understanding this dynamic requires looking beyond surface-level appearances to the pressures and realities faced by public couples, balancing personal intimacy with digital visibility. The idealized image of modern rural life. On the surface, this couple represents a modern archetype of rural achievement. Together, they embody a narrative where passion, work ethic, and authenticity intersect, offering an aspirational version meing Johnny Nicaragua. Offre show fay alki were our warshnini dower warshogers. Her storytelling transforms ordinary agricultural routines into compelling content, while he complements her presence with quiet support and operational expertise. Their partnership appears seamless, blending tradition with modernity, domestic life with professional ambition. This duality, deep roots in farming culture alongside savvy brand management, creates a compelling story for audiences. Their milestones, from weddings to expansions of their farm and online influence, reinforce the image of harmony. Fans admire not just the agricultural accomplishments, but the values portrayed: collaboration, resilience, and shared purpose. For viewers, this carefully constructed image offers reassurance that love, labor, and ambition can coexist without friction. Yet appearances can obscure the nuanced realities that exist behind cameras and screens. Subtle changes that spark speculation, even minor deviations in behavior or routine, can capture attention in a public-facing relationship. Followers notice differences. One partner became less present in shared content, or the energy that once seemed effortless now carried subtle tension. Shifts in tone, body language, or frequency of appearances invite interpretation, particularly in communities accustomed to consistent online storytelling. Humans naturally seek patterns, and disruption often signals meaning, whether intended or imagined. When audiences track these nuances, ordinary evolution can be mistaken for evidence of conflict or hardship. A simple reduction in shared posts may be seen as emotional withdrawal, while quietness may be read as distress. In public life, the boundary between observation and speculation blurs. The changes, though small, set the stage for more elaborate theories. As the mind attempts to reconcile the discrepancy between the idealized image and observable reality. Symbols and their significance. Certain visible elements can carry symbolic weight, intentionally or not. For instance, the absence of a wedding ring, though possibly practical or incidental, became a focal point for speculation. Jewelry choices, appearance in photographs, and even posture are scrutinized online. Audiences often interpret these markers as intentional signals of relationship status, using them to construct narratives about intimacy, conflict, or personal choice. Like when repeated appearances omit the ring, curiosity intensifies, reinforcing a sense of mystery. In the digital space, perception frequently outweighs practical reasoning. A decision rooted in safety, comfort, or convenience may be reframed as a statement about marital stability. Symbols become catalysts, encouraging followers to fill in gaps, though know their own interpretations, sometimes leading to assumptions like divorce from reality. With the surge of rumors, once minor inconsistencies gain attention, speculation snowballs. Online conversations track every behavior. Posting patterns, photo opportunities, and interactions become material for analysis. Search trends often spike in response as people seek confirmation or explanation for perceived irregularities. Without official statements, narratives take shape in comment sections, social media threads, and discussion forums. Rumors of divorce, emotional distance, or hidden conflicts proliferate, sometimes appearing as almost factual in tone due to repetition and the perceived reliability of shared observations. The absence of confirmation becomes proof to some, creating a feedback loop of assumption and response. In these scenarios, public curiosity intersects with imagination, turning ordinary life events into seemingly dramatic narratives. Alternative explanations, health concerns. As speculation grows, audiences frequently gravitate toward emotionally compelling scenarios. One common theory involves health challenges, where a partner's reserved presence or visible fatigue is interpreted as evidence of illness. The narrative resonates because it is understandable, tragic, and elicits empathy, allowing observers to contextualize the storyline, and supportive messages of concern and hope often accompany such speculation. Yet without confirmation, these interpretations remain conjecture. The gap between observed behavior and verified fact widens, leaving the public to construct meaning from limited evidence. Emotional plausibility often trumps factual accuracy in these cases, reflecting a desire to reconcile concern with understanding. While empathy may motivate such assumptions, it also highlights the risk of projecting narrative onto lives that remain private. Balancing image and intimacy. Maintaining a public image while protecting personal life is challenging. Decisions about content, appearance, and engagement must navigate multiple competing priorities. Choices about what to share, how to present oneself, and when to prioritize privacy are amplified by audience expectations. Small actions, removing a ring for safety, limiting appearances, or posting selectively can be misinterpreted as signs of conflict. Yet, these decisions often reflect practical considerations rather than relational instability. Balancing transparency and discretion is an ongoing negotiation, demanding emotional intelligence and resilience. Understanding this tension reframes perceived irregularities as intentional management rather than signals of failure. Audience, expectations, and entitlement. Followers often feel intimate connection with public figures, creating a sense of ownership over personal stories. This perceived proximity encourages interpretation, speculation, and demand for explanations. When content shifts, audiences may seek emotionally satisfying frameworks, often defaulting to drama, scandal, or crisis. Rarely do observers consider that evolution, stress, or private growth may explain behavior. The pressure to maintain a coherent narrative for an audience can itself become a source of strain for those observed. Recognizing the limits of public entitlement encourages empathy, reminding audiences that curiosity should not replace respect for personal boundaries or private decision-making. Reframing subtle shifts. Small changes do not inherently indicate catastrophe. Couples evolve, responsibilities expand, and priorities shift over time. Temporary distance or visible fatigue is often contextual rather than symptomatic of underlying drama. Life transitions, seasonal workload, and personal reflection naturally alter public presentation. Awareness of this complexity allows audiences to view content with nuance rather than defaulting to sensationalist interpretations. By considering operational, emotional, and environmental factors, observers can appreciate the realities behind the curated moments they see online. Patience and contextual understanding reduce the impulse to project narratives of crisis onto ordinary life developments. Communication as a tool for resilience. Private dialogue remains the most effective tool for addressing relationship stress. Challenges, whether rooted in past experience, operational pressure, or emotional strain, require honest communication rather than public speculation. Resilience is cultivated through conversation, shared problem solving, and mutual support. Silence in the public sphere does not indicate failure. It may reflect intentional privacy while navigating complex matters. Observing the distinction between private strategy and public perception underscores the limitations of external analysis. Ultimately, the strength of a partnership is revealed in lived experience, not audience interpretation. Conclusion. Beyond rumors and speculation. Public fascination often prioritizes drama over nuance, constructing narratives to satisfy curiosity. Yet the most likely explanations for subtle shifts are grounded in ordinary human experiences: stress, growth, seasonal demands, or evolving priorities. A missing ring, a quiet moment, or reduced appearances are rarely proof of scandal. They are markers of lived reality. Audiences can choose empathy over assumption, patience over rumor, and understanding over projection. Just as farming requires consistent effort, attention, and care, relationships thrive on communication, resilience, and trust. The story that unfolds behind the camera belongs to those living it, and its meaning cannot be fully captured through observation alone. By respecting the complexity of private life, viewers allow space for authenticity, growth, and human imperfection.